Hello guys, my name is Srinivasram. I am a Python trainer. So, in the previous session we discussed about built-in exceptions, for example, division error, value error, type error, name error. We discussed all these built-in exceptions, and today we will discuss user defined exceptions. Okay. So, before we create user defined exceptions, there are 3 steps to create user defined exceptions. Number one, first step is to create exception based class by inheriting exception class. Okay. All the classes, all built in classes, example type error, zero division error, all these exception classes are will inherit from exception class. So, even user defined also same, we have to inherit from exception class. Well, that is the first one, and second we have to use raise keyword. Using raise keyword we will create what raise create exception by using for a particular condition. We will raise an exception for a particular condition. Then third step is to handle that exception. So, we have to implement these 3 steps, and our exception is what, just like zero division error. When you divide a number by 0, we should get one exception, that is zero division error. Same way if you divide a number by 5, we should get exception. So, our exception means what, 5 division error. Our exception name is 5 division error. So, what we will do, first we will get step 1. Step 1 is to create exception class, and our class name is 5 division error, and this class should inherit from exception class. So, first we will go to PyCharm editor, and here I will create one class. I will create one class. The class name is 5 0 division 50 div error. I will say just short form 50 div error, and this should inherit from exception class. And here just no implementation, just I will use this pass statement. The step 1 is done. Step 1 is done, and we created one class called 50 div error, and it will accept from exception class. Right. Step 1 is done. Now, step 2. What is step 2? Raise created exception for a particular condition. Now, based on this condition, we will raise one error. Okay. In this, what I will do? I will put a try block, try, and here I will take input from the user. For example, a equals to int of input function, please enter number 1. Fun1. Same way I will get one more variable, control C, control V. I will take one more variable, and this time I will take B equals to int of input, please enter number 2, right. And what is the condition? If the user enters 5, if user enters B as Y, second number as 5, then we should get error, then we should get one exception, and that exception is what, 5 division error. Okay. So, I will say here if B double equals to 5 and raise exception. So, I will say raise our exception is what, 5 division error, and here I will give one message in the brackets. I will give one message. The message is cannot divide a number by 5, right, if user enters B as 5, right, otherwise else result equals to nothing, result equals to A/B and print B, A/B and print B, that is it. Come here and accept class, accept exception. This is done, step 2 is done. Step 3, we have to handle that exception. To handle that exception, accept exception as obj. I want to print that message. If you get any exception, print obj. Done. 3 steps. step 1, step 2, step 3. This is step 1, this is step 2, and this is handle that exception step 3. Yes, done. Now what will do? We will run this program. We will run this program. Please enter number 1. For example, I entered 10 here. I will enter 10. What I will do here? Just meant let me give some gap here. So, colon space colon space, and again I will run this program. Again I will run this program. Please enter number 1. I will enter 10. I will enter 2. 10 by 2 perfect. Syntactically it is correct. The program is correct, and run inputs also proper inputs. You will get 10 by 2. 10 by 2. So, if second input equals to 5, then raise a division error, otherwise print it, print the result. And finally, we use this how to handle this exception, except exception as obj, print obj. So, this is one example. We will do one more example. We will do one more example how to create user defined exception. This time invalid password. This time we will create one invalid password. For example, if I enter wrong password, then it should raise one exception. It should raise one exception. Okay. So, see, this is second example. Again same thing. We will go here. We will create one class, and this is what signed password. Okay, for user, for example, is 1 2 3 4 5. Create a function which will take password from the user. If enter password doesn't matches, if entered password doesn't matches, then raise invalid password exception with a message invalid password, try again. User will prompt again until this continues, until user enters correct password. Until user enter correct passwords, we should keep on getting this exception messages. Okay, exception messages. So, first what I will do? I will create one class here, class invalid password. Same step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 is what? Step 1 is create one class, exception class, and the name is invalid password. Okay, and it should accept inherit from exception class. Right, indentation, then just give pass here. Yes, step 1 is done. Step 1 is done. Now, I will create one variable here, a global variable. For example, stored password. I will declare one variable called stored password equals to, I will say ABC 1 2 3, caps ABC 1 2 3. Right. Now I will create one function. For example, def, the name of the function is login function. Right. Right. Then try block, and here I will say try browse. I will declare one variable called password. This password will enter by the user. So, input function, please enter password. Right. If entered password and stored password, if it matches, then we should print one message successfully login, otherwise we should raise one exception. So, here I will write what if password double equals to entered stored password, my entered password equals to stored password. If both are equal, then print one message, what? Successfully logged in. Yes, successfully logged in. Okay, successfully logged in. Right. Otherwise raise exception. So, I will say else raise an exception, raise keyword, and what is our exception name? Our exception is invalid password, and I will give give message here, we will give some message here, what? Invalid passwords, please try again. Please try again, right, then accept exception name, accept exception name, exception, okay, as obj, any variable name, and print this obj, that is it, obj, okay, and call the function again, and call the function again. If a user enters wrong password, okay, it will display message what, invalid passwords, please try again. So, what I will do here, again I will call this function, which function, login function. When user enters wrong password, we should call this function again, right. Then I will come out of the this one program, this function. Now I will call the function. Our function is what, login function, login function. Just a minute, login, login function, yes. Again I will explain, this is step 1, this class definition step 1. What is the name of the class? The name of the class is invalid password, and what is inheriting? It is inheriting exception class, this step 1. Step 2, here, okay, raise the exception, okay. If password, the entered password is not matching the stored password, okay. If it is not matching, then you should go to else block and it will raise invalid password exception, and you should display this invalid password, try again. Suppose if both are matching, then you should display you are successfully logged in. And finally, here at line number 19, I am calling that function, okay. Just a minute, now I will run this program, When you run this program, you will get one message, please enter password. For example, I will enter here XYZ123, my password, I entered password is what, XYZ123. So, I will press enter. When I press enter, it should raise an exception, invalid password, try again. See, invalid password, try again, and again this function is calling here, So, we got message again, please enter password. This time I will give hello 123 for example. Again it will raise an exception, again it will display invalid password, please try again. Now, this time what I will do, I will give a correct password. My correct password is what, ABC123. My correct password is what, ABC123, and when I press enter, okay, it should show what, you are successfully logged in. Once again we will try. Let me just give some gap here. Again I will run this program. Once again I will show you the flow. Please enter password. See, here it is asking please enter password. So, here I will enter something. For example, here I will enter in the password place, I will enter XYZ123. So, the value of password is what, XYZ123, and my stored password is what, ABC123. Both are not matching. This is XYZ123 and this is ABC123. Both are not matching. It comes to else block. It will raise an error. It raises an exception. What is the exception? Invalid password exception. So, just now we created in step 1. In step 1 we created this invalid password. So, it comes to line number 14. And it will give one exception, that is invalid exception. After displaying this invalid password, please try again. Then again this function is called until you enter correct password. So, here I entered XYZ123, and when I press enter, it will display invalid password, please try again, and again you have to enter. For example, I will give AAA123, this is also a wrong password. So, it should call again, it should raise an exception, it should call function again. Yes, again. Now, this time I enter correct password ABC123, press enter. If you like this video, please click on like button and share our channel. Thank you very much.